Okay, we got speedometer out. It's out just for people that want to know. There's only one plug on the back, right here. And there's my new gauge, right there. There's the turbocharged, there's the original. And there's a new one. Now don't forget, you might need to get some rubber glue or clear silicone, and you're reattaching the knee face on it. I just bought some. I just went to Home Depot, bought some of that. If I need it, I may not need it. We'll see. Now I just gotta take this apart, clean it up, take this apart, and pull off the pointer. Make sure you go counterclockwise with the pointer. Go very slow, otherwise you'll damage it. So be careful when you're installing. The video, you see how to take out the black piece. See, I broke it all down. It's held on by prongs. Now, make sure before you do anything else, you wash your hands. Hands need to be clean because you can leave dirt and debris and stains on the gauges and stuff. Even though you got a brand new gauge, these other portions right here we're not replacing, just right here. So wash your hands. Again, it's just snapped on. As you can see, prongs just snaps on. This piece does have to come off. The bezel has to come off, and the bezel's underneath this. See, this has to come off. And okay, so again with this knob, you're gonna grab it, push down, and go counterclockwise, slowly, and eventually it'll come up. You know, you're gonna kind of pull up, but go slowly. Now, do not, I repeat, do not yank up. You will damage it and destroy this. You cannot just yank. You have to go counterclockwise until it gets loose, and pull up slowly. Eventually, it'll release itself. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Again, once you peel off this gauge right here, you may need the rubber silicone to help the new gauge right here. Maybe. This depends. We'll find out. Again, so you can see what it looks like on video, because there's no videos of this. That's what the pointer looks like, so you can see the end of it right there. Adjust the camera. There. See? And that's what the hole looks like. Adjust the shot right quick for you guys. That's what the hole looks like. That's the motor, the little pin that you can see right there. That's why you can't pull up, you damage it. Just keep spinning counterclockwise. It's going to feel like it's not going anywhere. It took me a second, but eventually it'll start to get looser and looser, and you're just slightly pulling up. So just so you can see it, that's the pin. That's the hole. Alright, so now I'm going to pull off this face and replace it with the other. Second to figure out, you got to pry up the bottom piece right there, as you can see. Use a flathead. Stick underneath close to the pins and just pry up on each side, and it'll pop out. A little pressure, don't go like that. A little pressure and it'll pop right on out. So now I'm going to swap. Okay, got it all apart, as you can see. Again, pry it up. That's what it looks like on the back side for you folks that just want to know. There it is. Old gauge, new gauge. Old, new. Alright, here's the piece, the middle piece is holding. As you can see, same thing, it's just prongs holding it on. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and swap this out. It looks like, from what I'm looking at, usually you put silicone, but since this center piece right here is prized in, this RPM gauge isn't moving. Like, it's not going anywhere. There's so many things go on top of it, there's no way. So I don't even think you even gonna need the rubber glue, so I'm gonna take that back. Now you can kind of see, you see it custom, kind of flakes in it going on. That's gangster. You see that? Nothing going on. So there you go. Alright, I'm gonna put it together without using rubber glue, see if it holds. Be back. Video, just so you know, make sure you line everything up. You see those little notches right there? My finger's there. Line it up, please. That way it goes on smooth. Then don't worry about the center right here, because like I said, that black piece is going to sit on top. It should push it down. I want to make a quick video. That way I cover everything. So when you go to do an install custom gauge yourself, you're not in the dark like I am. Now there's the next part. Once you get it all back together, don't put the black cover on and the clear plastic on, or the needle in. Do not put the needle in. you're gonna need to plug it back into the harness in the car. So I'm back in the car. Go ahead and turn the key. Let me get this camera. Yeah. And turn the key to the on position. Do not crank the car. Just turn it to the on position. I'm assuming that should probably spin this little thing, the gear inside, back to the proper position. Now that I've done that, I can go ahead and put the needle back on. But obviously, since we're in the Civic, put the needle back to 0. So they say put the needle back in the way that it came in. I'm not sure if that means I got to push it down and then spin it back into place, or just push it in one time to the 0 position. So I'm just going to put it in on 0 and see if it's kind of loose. If it's loose, then I'll go ahead and again turn it the opposite way just to tighten it back up. But make sure at the end of the day your pointer goes to 0. So install it by putting it back on the 0. See if it's still kind of loose. If it is, go back, and this way, in this case, we'll go clockwise to tighten it down. But make sure you always stop on 0. Back, as you saw, make sure you have it in the on position so everything powers up. Do not crank the car. I had it in the accessory, the one before that was the I had to turn it one more notch. Again, everything should cut on, lights, miles, everything, but do not crank the car. Period. Okay, so now, again, like I said, I put the needle back on and spun it, and there's really no guide on this. So either you can count how many spins it took you to take off. I really didn't. I just kind of spun it till it got tight. I just wanted to show you guys this. You see that? See how it's kind of tight? I'll have to physically turn it harder. It's not really tight, but at the very tip top of the needle, it's right there. Again, you gotta make sure it's on 0. Kind of pick it up and place it to make sure that the point is on 0, not below it or a little bit above it. And again, try to get to where when you turn it, stops right there. Don't overturn it. If you overturn it, just go back around again until you catch it. But there you go. So now I'm gonna put everything back together. Obviously, you want to go for a test drive just to make sure that it jumps up as far as the RPMs. I think the car idles around like 600, 650, something like that. So I'm about to put it all back together, install it, and we'll see. Be back. Everything's all back together. Needles on there. I'm gonna crank the car, see what happens, and obviously you see what I do is put one screw at the top, crank the car, see what happens, see how the idle looks, and then see if go for a quick drive just to look at the RPMs. Alright, let's try to crank it. Let's make sure everything's back together. Yeah. And you see neither went down. That's not good. That's not good. What's wrong with it? Alright, you see the car's idling. I think the stock idles, I think I said what, 655, 6, that's about right. It's slightly, I think it might be slightly off. I won't know until I drop the tune in. I can just check what the RPMs are, but that's, yeah, see, there it goes. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now to explain what just happened, I'm glad that kind of happened. It went downward. When I showed you in the previous section how when I spun the needle, I said make sure you get it tight. It was riding like that, but you can fully turn it down. That's the way the needle's gonna go. So you need to go clockwise just to get it in there, and then go back counterclockwise, probably like 1 or 2 revolutions, so that when you do this, it's tight, but it's loose going upward clockwise, not loose going downward like I had it. That's why it went down like that. So now, as you can see, yeah, now the idle's good. Perfect now. That's right on. Alright, I will go for a quick drive right fast, just to make sure it goes up and down. I can rev it 4004K, and it should drop right back down, as you see, and then settle itself. Okay, I'm going to put the screw back in, go for a quick drive, and just make sure it's good. before I put it back together. Try to hold it here. Doubt I can. We'll see. I go for a quick drive around my neighborhood right quick. Make sure it's running properly. Again, just making sure this RPM meter is good. There it goes. Again, even if the RPMs are slightly off. Gear. You're driving with one hand and recording. Yeah, it's not good. Push it a little bit, make sure the idle comes back up. Making sure the idle comes back up. Okay. Actually looks pretty freaking good. Pretty good. I'll make sure. Park right fast. Alright, see how the idler goes? Bam! Now that is good. So now I'm going to go ahead and throw it all back together. Looks like a perfect install. I'll take it down the street once I get back together just to make sure. Everything's back together. I checked everything as far as hazard light,